Hi guys, I'm Kira Caldwell and I'm a math education major at Tarleton State University on the Stephenville campus. And the strategy that I will be presenting in this video is the PAVE strategy: predict, associate, verify, and evaluate. And so, a little bit about this strategy. I found this strategy while we was doing like the vocabulary strategies for the strategies notebook, and I really fell in love with it because I think that it would be like very useful to students because first of all, but the reason why I really liked it is because I know like a lot of times when like students have don't know the definition of a word, they either like ask the teacher or they'll just go straight to the definite or dictionary or look it up on their phones or something like that. And I feel like a lot of times we really don't get the meaning of the word. We just get it just for the purpose of stuff of like answering a question or something like that. But instead, like the strategy makes it where they can form their connections and make their own associations with the word, and that word, the meaning of that word, can be put to long-term memory. The way the PAVE strategy goes is you have them read a chapter and you give them a list of vocabulary words beforehand, and throughout the chapter, they'll like underline the vocabulary words and mark them just to know where they're at. And then once you give them this little template or handout, you have them write one of the vocabulary words right here. And then after they do that, they need to write the sentence where the word was found in. And so once they have the word in the sentence, you want them to create their own definition of the word. And so they can use this by either using the sentence that the word was found in or just by like context clues, just like looking around the book and seeing what the whole page is about. Like in math, you could pretty much figure it out yourself. Um, and then after they come up with that nice definition, you want them to write their own sentence. And so basically, the sentence is how they see the word as. So using their predicted definition, have them write that sentence. And once they get done with that, you want them to look up the actual definition in either a glossary or a dictionary. And once they verify their definition from the dictionary, they can look back up to their predicted definition and compare the two and see if they were right on spot or what they lagged a little bit, or just see where they need some improvement and reflect on it. And then once they got all that done, you want them to create another sentence by using the verified definition and like their better understanding that they have of the word now thanks to the verified definition. And once they've done all of this, you want them to associate the word. Now, this association could be either a picture, an illustration, a symbol, some numbers, words, whatever helps them make them understand this word. To demonstrate this strategy, I have me a nice little whiteboard, and so I'll be working along with you guys on the whiteboard. And so let's get started. So let's say the kids come to class and they already read their assignments, and I give them the word sequence, and so they'll read the chapter. And after they're done reading, we'll go to the assignment, and they'll pick up the word sequence. And so the first thing is to pull out the sentence where the word is stated from. And so I'm going to read the sentence and write it at the same time. So it says, a go-kart track charges $5 for a go-kart license and $2 for each lap. If you list the charges for 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 laps, and so on in order, the list forms a sequence of the numbers 7, 9, 11, 13. So the sentence will be, if you list the charges for 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 laps, and so on. The list is a sequence numbers 7, 9, 11, and 13. Dot, dot, dot. Okay? And so that is the first step. And now, being that I'm the teacher, I would say, well, the word we're going to be working with today is sequencing. So in this word section, once I put it back up, you'll write the word sequence. Oh. Okay, so now we have sequence. And next step, like I said before, was to write a particular definition. Now you might do this as a class, or you can have the students do it on their own. It just depends on how you want to utilize this strategy. But just for the sake of this, we'll work together and I'll talk it out. And so sequences. So we know that sequences, in a general sense, means like the range or order of objects or events. So like history. History is just a big sequence of events that happens, like the Civil War, then the American Revolution. It's all about all the events that happen. And then so in a way we can relate that general definition into the math things. So we're working with numbers in math, and in the systems that we saw, we see that the numbers form a particular order. So I guess we can say that the definition for sequence would be a list of numbers in a particular order. And so we will write that down here. List of numbers. And so now that we have formed our own definition, we want to write a sentence. And so this might be a little bit hard to do since like math words are just hard to use in sentences in general unless you like either defining the word or stating something is that word. So, but the sentence that I came up with was the outputs of a function can form a sequence. And in reality, when you think about it, if you like have f of x equals 2x, the numbers form like the sequence of the outputs will be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, dot, 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 up until infinity, basically. So we can put the outputs of a function can form a sequence. Okay, so now we have our own sentences, and this is where the part where you probably talk about it a little bit, and then after you talk about it, you can have the students actually look up the definitions to verify if their thinker was right or wrong. And so in this case, you can either use a dictionary, or in this case, you can use this nice glossary at the back of your textbook, as I have done. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. So once the students have the definitions, have them write it down in the respective space allocated for it. And so the definition from the glossary states a list of numbers that often form a pattern. So now this is the definition. And now after this part, this is where we do some reflecting on our past sentences and the past definition, and we probably will talk about it and see how close we are. And looking at our definition and their definition doesn't seem too far off. And basically because I'm a math major, so I already know what it meant, but it doesn't seem too far off. And so now that we compare it to both sentences, we can create a better sentence. And that's what we're going to do. So, yeah, I really don't know how to form a better sentence. And so what I did was I just made it a little bit more specific. Instead of saying a function, I actually defined that function. And so the function that I used was, well, the sentence that I used was the function f of x equals 3x forms a sequence of numbers 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, comma, dot, dot, dot. So now we have a better definition, a better sentence that, tailored to the definition. Make the word better. Okay, and now after all of this, this is time for the students to make their own connections and like start coming up with associations for the word. And so when we think of sequences, we can also think of patterns because it does say it is a pattern, but it's just a list of numbers of patterns. So we can either write out a number of patterns, a sequence, a pattern of numbers, or we could just draw a pattern. And what I chose to do like a shape pattern, just so that like when you think about it, you're like, oh, okay, well, it's a pattern of numbers. But you get what I'm saying. So, if I did circle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, circle, triangle. And so this is the strategy. And I know I went through this pretty fast, but hopefully it makes sense. And this is the completed stuff on the paper. So this is what that paper is supposed to look like, completed. Ignore my bad handwriting, but this is what it's supposed to look like. And this it is weird. And so that's the PAVE strategy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm very awkward when it comes to talking, so excuse me if I made any errors. I guess that's it.